Tiguit Idiota Brim. Been an interesting day. One I would have chose to avoid. I had a conversation this morning with my brother John, and he asked a question that to me was like right out of the blue. Now I just got up, just sat down, and I'm going, what the hell is all this about? The question was I circumcised? The answer is yes. Through some general back and forth, my brother John, he asked me, was it religious law or U.S. law? And I said U.S. Of course, it did go a few times back and forth because I'm saying, well, it's the law. I mean, you can't avoid it. You couldn't. Because I'm 50 years old, and at the time, it was U.S. law. Period. Now, if it was U.S. law as far as individual states and every state agreed, which would be sort of strange because most states don't agree with each other. I don't know, but I mean, since all states were doing it when I was born, I would presume there were some U.S. Code involved. Probably something in around the nature of health care of some sort. So him and I went back and forth on this discussion for a while. And I answered the question. I said, to me, I really don't give a flip. And I don't. To me, it's normal. To me, it just is. I don't care. It's not a major issue for me. I can go back 50 some odd years and change it. If I wanted to, and I don't know why I would. Now, there is some liberal hype about this that suggests that it is torture. There's another one that says it's unnecessary and a bunch of other nonsense. You'll find this in places like California and Florida. I mean, those guys are just like, they're out there. And I know somebody from Florida, but I'm not going to mention them by name. So, I'm having this discussion with John, right? And we're just chatting back and forth, right? And really, I think he's just trying to get my goat. Because John's good at doing that. And I think he lives for it, to be truthful with him. But he seemed to be having a good time. And I was sort of getting torqued at the whole conversation because why are we talking about penises for? Doesn't do anything for me one way or the other. And I really just don't care. But John seemed to he was having a good time. Whatever the reason was. For the entire dialogue, I have no idea. I really don't. Now, I could really have fun with this, and I thought about it, but somebody else stuck their nose into our conversation without scrolling up and reading how it got started, and virtually made an ass out of themselves. But it's too far below me to use that, and I don't really care to. I mean, this given person I'm thinking of is a loon. Tries to be a nice person, wants to be a nice person, tries to do right, but is very confused. I'm just going to say that. Because I'm not going to poke fun at the person, at him or her, or whatever it was. I'm not going to do it. Because that would be beneath me. It's too easy. So I'm not going to do that. But yes, when I was born, it was U.S. law. However that derived, federal, state, local, county, who cares? It was the law. When I was young, I asked about it because I was curious about a Mitzvot and the equivalent laws in the Torah. And I was just told it's the law. Nothing really hurts you. You're okay. It's the law. And he said, well, we abiding by the Torah, or is it some type of civil law? He said, civil. Okay. As father, mother, no, not priest, but at that time I was a pastor, Sunday school teacher. I mean, anybody else I knew, grandparents, trying to get the straight story, because nobody really knew apparently. So that's what I was ever told. It was the law. That's all I ever knew. Now, apparently it did in 2000. The liberals and their incredible dementia went about to say that, well, it is child abuse. It is taking away from the right of an individual. It offers no medical benefits, which is bullshit. They already proved it's bullshit. It actually does have medical benefits. So on and so on and so forth. I mean, I was reading about this when I was having a conversation with John before this twit came into the conversation. And John, he's just chatting. There's things him and I don't agree on. There's things him and I do agree on. We're both anarchists. We don't believe in this society as it presently exists. So on those grounds we agree. It gets a little fuzzy when you get down to the details, though. But my brother John, he likes to have these levels of discussion. I guess if him and I were in the same room, we'd be sitting across from maybe a chess set or something, talking about this as we're playing chess. That's just the feel of our relationship, if it was in the same room. Now, John's a good guy. He means well. He honestly thinks he's doing the right thing for the right reason, and I respect him for that. But for the twit, he's just somebody trying to stick their nose in where it didn't belong. Not to say anybody else couldn't jump into the conversation. They can. I'm going to refer them back to biblical law, which is below. You can read all about circumcision below, as far as whatever I found that was worthwhile. I mean, I read a lot of liberal opinions, objectives, and oppositions, and etc. You can do all that. But let me bring this point up. Since it was done for medical reasons, and it was, and it is done for medical reasons, well, if all that's true, right, for those that oppose it, what if we say that a person being forced to take a vaccine is against their individual rights? Yeah, it's coffin day. And we just walk away from it. And we don't let it because it violates individuals' rights. I mean, people die from vaccines. And that's a fact. They do. Very few die from circumcision. Unless the person doesn't know what they're doing when they're doing it. But people do die from vaccinations. And I can tell you for one thing, in boot camp I got like 30, no, it wasn't that many. It was like 24 different shots in 2 weeks. And then I got more when I got to my combat station. I got vaccinated for stuff I didn't want to know about. And then when I went over in Europe, I got vaccinated for stuff I can't even talk about. How good it was, who knows? But that was mission requirements. Did I have a choice? No, I did not. Could I protest it? Well, I can protest as I was getting the shot. I mean, look at it this way. You go to your employer work for your employer tells you have to go get a flu shot. I mean, I'm against flu shots. You got to get it. You don't have a choice. If you want to go overseas, you got to take a battery of shots. You don't have a choice no matter. You either go overseas or you're not going overseas. It's the same damn thing. And some things in life, you don't have a choice. And then people thinking, oh, that's taking away from a person's rights. Bullshit. To my brother John, I hope you have a good day. Look forward to our next jaunt. Hopefully next time some twit won't stick their nose in it. And I bid you a very, very good day. I look forward to our next one. Let's talk about something decent like Serpco or G4S or one of those other twits. At least we'd be on the same ground. But I guess that wouldn't be much of a conversation. I'm sure you and I can come up with something to joust about. Have a good day, John. And be blessed, brother. And for the twit, stay out of my life. And if you're going to insert yourself, at least read the whole bloody dialogue. Jeez. Ta-ta. I got funny videos to work on.